Hi guys, welcome to the Root Stem, and in this video we're going to be painting these. Ooh, yeah, there we go. We're going to be painting these awesome apothecaries for the Dark Angels. Hi guys, welcome, thanks for joining me. As you could see from the beginning of the video, we've painted up an apothecary, hey! And of course, this particular apothecary is basically a follow-on to the Dark Angel video that I did a few weeks ago. I'm recording this before Christmas, but there's a good chance it might not come out until after Christmas. But what we're basically going to be doing is a fast video just showing you how to paint up this lad here. We'll be doing something slightly different for the Dark Angel at his feet, and of course we've got the shoulder pads to consider. I am doing 2 of these figures at a time, so I've already got the arms set up, and I've got the backpacks already painted up in a Mechanicus silver. I've got them done in lead belt chair, but at the moment I'm all painted up in grey here. We're doing primarily a white armour on this chap, so I'm going to hopefully get the array of paints out that you're going to need. So nice array of colours, your Fluent Ulfern Grey, of course, for the whites. We've got some white scar as well. We might not need the Ulfern, but any grey here, which of course is going to cover up any mistakes that we do. Contrast paint wise, I'm going to be looking at Apothecary White, Wildwood, Orc Flesh, Blood Angels Red, and a technical medium, so we can start thinning stuff down if we need to. And silvery type colours, we've got Lead Belcher, Storm Vermin, Stormhorse Silver with some known oil. Gonna need some of that known oil for my dark colours, my Dark Angels. I haven't actually got my Caliban Green out, but it's going to be Caliban Green, Warp Stone Glow, Milk Green. And then of course for some of the leather pouches, we're going to be looking at Rhinoxide, Corn Red, and then Evil Sun Scarlet. We've got some Magrat Reserve shades from Seraphim Sepia. Some used Shabty Bone, and we've also got some Blood for the Blood God, which I might use on there. Some of these, of course, have got agitators included. Depending, of course, upon the paint, I find Apothecary White, you kind of need one. A little bit of a ball bearing going in there, or a Space Marine head also works well. And I'm just going to flash, how the video is going to work is I'm going to flash up here roughly where the corner is the paint I'm currently using, and then we're just going to go from there. So we are going to begin by painting up Apothecary White, the Games Workshop contrast paint, all over the figure, especially the armour pieces to give us our base. Then we're going to paint the guns using not Apothecary Red, using Blood Angel Red contrast paint. The backpacks I'd already painted and sprayed up silver, so I was coating these now in known oil so we can get the shade, and we'll be highlighting those later. Now we're going to apply a dry brush of, I think it's a Ulfern White, all over the figure. Again, followed by another highlight of White Scar, we're going to call it Skull White there, but making sure that these hit more of the edges of the armour. Dry brush some Stormhorse Silver now onto the backpacks. And then use some grey sear just to mark out the areas of the backpack that's going to be white. And to finish off the backpacks, of course, I'm going to just basically I've already done the Apothecary White and done the other stages. We're just going to put a bit of the White Scar highlight, just using an edge highlight, using a really thin brush. On the apothecaries, we've got some Shabty Bone, which I've of course done all the eagles and bone markings with. And we've got some Talan Sand, which I've tried to do if there's any sort of purity seals or anything of that nature. They've been covered up there, ready and prepped for some of the next stages. So what we're going to do now is use some Caliban green. We're going to start getting these colours together for, I like to use that to make sure my pot's not tipping up. We're going to be using a wet palette, of course, as you can hear the noise from opening up, and just to make sure that the paint is running nice, smooth and thin, and just a couple of different brushes to make sure that this is going to go into the areas that we want. Now of course I'm going to be painting the whole entire Dark Angel. This lad here, he's going to get painted 2 coats, because of course it's quite a light colour and a dark colour is going over it, so it's not going to look the greatest. And then of course I'm going to be doing all of the cloak, let's do that Dark Angel green, and the shoulder pads. Now be careful while going around this, you just want to make sure that you catch what you need, but with it being a lighter colour underneath, make sure you go right to the edge. So thin it down, 2 thin coats all over the required sections. Now I'm going to do some of the red stages. These are mainly for the purity seal, so we've got some corn red that we're putting all over the actual purity seal, and we're going to be highlighting that with some Evil Sun's Scarlet. It's not difficult to do. I mean, the corn red will dry pretty quick anyway, and if you've got it on a wet palette, you can kind of get them across quite easy. Just adding the Evil Sun Scarlet sections, kind of just keeping it onto the top if I possibly can. I've also done the little gene seed in his hand and the top of the lens. And we're going to coat all of the bolt pistol, or whatever type of pistol it is, I'll be honest with you, I forgot. But we're just going to basically coat that in a layer of Evil Sun Scarlet as well. Now we're going to get some Rhinox hide. We're going to start painting all of the straps and leather pieces, like holsters and other little things that are effectively going to be like a leathery brown colour. Just going to get that all nice and based up using Rhinox hide. And now we're going to use some Morn Fang Brown, and basically just start highlighting some of the leather pieces. I've done a video regarding trying to make sure that all the leather looks right, so if you want to check that out, hopefully I've put the link in the video, hopefully. And you have to check that out as well, just trying to create a worn leather look, and I'm just going to be going through the same process here. And just put Agraf's Earthshade all over the leather pieces. This dulls it back down, gives it a little bit of a recessed shade. It makes it very, very dark. I'm also applying it to the bone areas as well, what I've done, not the purity seals. And give the red a bit of a shade as well by using this. You can also just pull, if you're painting the entire skull with it, it just makes it very easy, especially with the brown strap. And some Seraphim Sepia. This is going to be all over the other sort of bleachy parts, so mainly the purity seals and of course any of the bits on the sides. So here we're just showing, I'm showing all three what I'm going to be doing, but just basically go back through, put on your Talan, sand your Shelby bone, and just reinforce. And then once you've reinforced, do some highlights on the red and the bone using Tyrant Skull and Fire Dragon Orange. Now, I am going to start painting up more of the silver areas, so make sure to use some lead belcher, and I'm going to get all of those based up. And then I'm going to use some black Templar contrast paint to start painting up any of the pipes that are sticking out of the various sections. Just makes it easier. Now we've got some Nuln oil. This is of course just for shading all of the metallic areas. And some Screaming Bell. Now this is going to be put onto the little pods on his chest and the one that's dangling from his hand. This is just going to make it just an easy sort of vessel to hold the gene seed in. And then once that's dry, come in with some Agrax Earthshade Gloss wash and just get those all washed up. And then some orc flesh, we're just going to do that on the little bit on his leg. And then, as you can see from the rest of it, we're just going to highlight any silver pieces with Runefang Steel. These are the other two that we'll be painting up later. So we're getting down to a stage where I'm wanting to finish up. And what I'm basically going to be doing is using some contrast paints just so we can get through the last steps very quickly. Now, what we're going to do is I'm possibly going to put some red on here. I'm going to be using various different colours for the buttons and the screen, and we're going to be using some different colours. So just to basically trying to use a very small brush, and we're going to be using them in here as we're going to be using them as yeah, basically for different fluids. If we put them on and then put them on again, we could always, you could put it on, if you want to, you know, lighten the tone a little bit, you can use some contrast technical medium, which is what I'll probably be doing when it comes to the ones in the pipes, just putting a little bit in that there just to thin it down a little. And then of course, hopefully that will make it settle more towards the bottom, making it, hopefully making gravity come into effect. I do have another one with the lights on. Those lights, again, we're going to be using yellows, blues, reds, purples. On the eye, we just use a bit of contrast. Try to make sure that you don't go onto the top, but you do just maybe catch the bottom a little bit, and that will give it a nice little bit of reflection. I've done that before on my Crimson Fist, if you've ever seen some of those particular videos. Right, let's get on with it. Oh yeah, and the Dark Old Flesh, I'm basically just going to thin that down a little bit with some contrast medium, and that's going to be the writing on the purity seals. Okay, so I've done all those little tiny little extras. I've even put some little bits of white dots on the glass. Now what I'll do with that is I'm going to finish off the base. Let's get it varnished, and then after I've got the item varnished, any bit that's kind of like a lens, I'm going to put some hard coat across it just to make it look extra glossy. And as you can see as well, if you can just see that there, hopefully. I put a little bit of the red contrast into the eye, it makes it look dull, and of course I've got this to finish off by putting in some battle damage, but that's just whatever type of battle damage you wanted to do, because some people do it as if it's metallic metal, some people don't, they say it's ceramite, or, well, ceramite I suppose is a word, never mind. You know what I'm saying? Right, let's get that finished and let's have a look at the final product. And there we go, 2 finished apothecaries for the Dark Angels, and I know they're kind of both, they look kind of similar. I finished off the bases, put a little red gore onto the hands, just to make it look like he's actually picking up, you know, some of the gene seed from the actual downed marine, and of course I put some red gore down on here just to try and finish it off. Well, thanks very much for watching, guys. Please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button if you do want to see more. I've got a couple more of these to come out. And then I think it's going to be some Sisters of Battle. So, you know, new year, new army and all that. Although, knowing me, I'm going to be late to the party. That'll probably end up coming out in February when the hashtag is dead. But there we go. Hashtag is dead. That might be a hashtag that I might use. Right. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Don't forget to follow me on all my social medias. And we'll see you next time.